Hey, welcome to Move Your Mojo, where we will have casual little chats about mindset, movement, and mojo. I'm Jay, a movement specialist, a maverick mystic, and quite frankly, a mojo magician. We're going to talk about how movement heals, mindset matters, and how both will boost your life force mojo. We'll chew on all sorts of topics from breath work, how to balance your energy, reduce stress, shift perspective, ease back pain, have more orgasms, yeah, I went there, to even the nuts and bolts of navigating the logistics of life with ease and flow. We're going to have grace for where we are, yet gear up 1% each day. Here's to living out loud and loving in full color. Rock on. Now let's move your mojo. Welcome, friends, and hello. I wanted to just share some thoughts and a meditation to follow on nature today. So I live in Virginia, and this past year we had a pretty severe drought. We were told that we couldn't use even water in our house, let alone the watering of the yards and whatnot, but even our in-home water use was to be restricted, meaning how many times a week we could run the dishwasher or to limit usage of showers. Now, I live in a mountain valley, and a shortage of water has never really been a problem. But for whatever reason, this past year, we didn't get a lot of rain, and the environment suffered from that. And in fact, just a couple of weeks ago, we had forest fires all around us, which again is usually not something that we have problems with in the Shenandoah Valley. So it's been kind of a strange experience. And in fact, in some ways it looks like, nature's kind of rebelling, and maybe it is. It has every right to. But it reinforced in many ways this feeling I've been having lately of just scarcity, right? Was a full-time wellness professional that pivoted during COVID. Then I, last year, quit my full-time job that I had that got me through that time, and I was very blessed to have work during that time. But I went back into the wellness industry, and I've been trying to just kind of find my new voice, right? My kids are grown, they're off to college, and I've got this second stage of life ahead of me. I've been dealing with some kind of medical issues that might be linked to menopause and all sorts of things going on. And so as this drought occurred and as these forest fires raged, I could just feel even this drought within me. And I find myself always going to books, right? And I tend to be drawn to books about nature, and I tend to be drawn to nature itself. And so I wanted to come on here and share with you today, because sometimes they say you can't heal in the environment that you're in, right? Like you need a change of scenery, you need a change of environment, because it can give you a change of perspective. And so case in point, I'm now sitting in North Carolina, still in the mountains, but here it has rained all week long. And in fact, it was raining back home before we left, which was good. I was thankful for that because of all these forest fires and things. We just need the rain. But I'm sitting here in North Carolina, and the rain has not ceased. And I'm looking out the window, and there are these lime green leaves just popping up everywhere. And the red buds are this beautiful shade of bright pink. And I've been spending this week in between the rain as much as possible, and sometimes in the rain, out in the gardens here, trimming back new growth, pruning dead branches, planting new things, especially right now that the rain can nourish them. And it brings me back to the reminder that nature is abundant. And it the synchronicity that I sometimes get, if I just kind of pause and get out of my head a little bit, is astounding to me. Like, the Creator is so good to always remind me. And so here I am sitting in this abundance of nature where everything is just, there's an abundance of rain, and there's an abundance of leaves blossoming, and there's an abundance of green everywhere, with this promise of spring and growth. And it is such a good reminder that we actually live in a world that's not scarce. Like, even the fires, that sometimes need to happen, right? You get rid of the dross, you get rid of the dead growth, and now something new can grow. Sometimes we need the season of drought, but that promise of rain will come. How nature is so cyclical, right? Everything comes in a cycle. And how we can find some rest in the cycles, and how we can find some ease in the cycles. So it's just a good reminder to me that, sometimes we plant the seed and we have to do these consistent things when we first plant. We have to make sure there's consistent water. And there's, I was pruning things back in the garden so that sunlight could get into parts that were suffering, right? You had to thin out some things, making room for things, moving plants around so that they could prosper, and, having to nurture their roots a little bit, because you uproot them and pull them up, and you have to get special food and fertilizers and bat guano to put into the new home, the new root ball, so that it can prosper, so that it has what it needs to prosper in that new space. And I just feel like we as humans, being of nature ourselves, need these reminders. And I saw something else talking about synchronicity. I guess it was yesterday. There was a beautiful picture of a forest. And I love words. And somebody on this picture put forest for rest. And it just kind of gave me this surge of in my chest, right? Like, yeah, that's why we love the forest. That's why I love the trees. That's why I love to go into this space of abundance everywhere. Even yesterday, I went to an establishment that all he did was sell rocks. And I thought, man, now this is an abundant business, because the earth is a rock and it's full of rocks, and these guys just go around and gather up rocks essentially and put them into big piles, and you can go and buy them by the dump truck load. Just how abundant is that? And so, yeah, when we go into the forest, we do find it's for rest, and we can tune back in to how we ourselves, we're not machines. The Industrial Revolution, and now I think even more poisonous is this digital revolution, if you will, that everything is digital, and beyond daylight savings time and punching a clock at a factory for the Industrial Revolution, now we're 24/7, right? The emails are constant, the social media is constant, and all of these things just plug into us in a million ways and drain us of energy and leave us feeling scarce, tired, exhausted, worn out, burnt out. And I am absolutely sharing in a vulnerable place right now that I am like, this is madness to try to keep up with all of these things. And so here I am sitting in the middle of this abundant forest, in the middle of this abundant mountain range, and this abundant state, right? I can't count the leaves on the trees. I can't begin to imagine to count the needles of the pine trees. I can't even begin to imagine the number of tiny little bright pink petals that are on the redbud trees. The rhododendrons in this area are beyond count. Beyond count. The stars in the sky. It's amazing when we look at nature. And, even if you think of a crop, like I grew up, my grandparents had this ginormous garden that was like the size of the footprint of their house, and fruit trees. And when things came to, you had to plant the seed and you had to do the work and you had to get that seed to catch root and flourish. But gosh, once it did, like I remember sitting on the porch in the summer and thinking to myself, if I have to snap one more bean or shell any more peas, because of the abundance of nature. And so if you're in this season, in this space right now where maybe digital technology, you're in a space of overwhelm, or maybe you're in a season of life right now in parenting where you just feel like your children need you 24/7. If you have that feeling of I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I don't know how I'm going to keep putting one foot in front of the other, or I just want to lay here and completely space out, which again, there's nothing wrong with rest. Please don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with rest. But if you find yourself trying to disconnect from life, if you're trying to numb yourself in some way, if you find that your thoughts are repetitively going, I don't know how, or I'm so tired, first let's honor that. How do you get more rest? How do you plug back into nature? How do you shift from scarcity and lack to feeling the abundance of the natural being that you are? And this is a question I ask myself a lot, right? Because truth of the nature is I'm a wellness professional, but it's a digital age, and I find myself exhausted from the digital demands on my time. How do I get my message out there to help people and help them revive from this nonstop 24/7 digital age while also using those digital tools to communicate with them? It's kind of a conundrum. But I encourage you to find those moments of rest, to notice the sea of pine cones on the ground during your next walk, to allow yourself to come out of your head if you're wondering about how to pay the bills, or where your next customer is coming from, or how you're going to pass that college exam, or if you're going to get that internship you're looking for, or any of those things. Notice the leaves on the ground. Notice the needles on the pine tree. And remember that you too are abundant in nature. And so I'd like to finish up this thought with a meditation to share with you. Maybe you're listening to this while you're walking, or maybe you're listening to this while you're sitting still. If you're listening to this while you are driving, I would encourage you to go ahead and listen, but if you find yourself getting sleepy, maybe pause it and come back to it. But maybe you do need to listen to it while you're driving. If you're tense, if you're worrying, you can keep your eyes open and your hands on the wheel, but just come into the mental imagery that I'm inviting you into with this meditation. But if you are somewhere where you can lie down and get comfortable and build a nest, or you are seated and can get comfortable and build a little nest, grab an extra pillow, maybe a blanket, whatever you need to do to get cozy. If you're driving and you have a few moments, maybe you actually just pull over and get a little comfortable and take a moment if you need it. Sometimes when we feel like we can't stop to rest is when we need it most. But I'm going to invite you to go to this quiet place within. Get comfortable. And if you haven't already, maybe you silence your phone. Make yourself as comfortable as you like with a blanket or a pillow if that's available to you. And I want you to start taking deep breaths through your nose. 4 counts in. Hold for 2. 4 counts out. Hold for 2. 4 counts in. Hold for 2. 4 counts out. Hold for 2. 4 counts in. Hold for 2. 4 counts out. Hold for 2. Now return to your normal breathing. Allow your body to relax. Start with the top of your head. Allow your scalp to relax, and that relaxation to ripple through every fiber of hair on your head. Relax your forehead, your eyes, the tiny muscles around your eyes. Relax your sinuses, your jaw, your teeth, your tongue. Feel relaxation ripple down your neck and shoulders. Feel relaxation flow down the muscles in your back, relaxing your entire spine. Feel relaxation in your chest and your stomach, relaxing all the organs in your abdomen. If at any point you have trouble relaxing or feel any stuck energy, feel free to put your hand on this part of your body to assist. Relax your pelvis and hips. Feel relaxation flow down your arms, relaxing your elbows and wrists, and all the tiny muscles in your hands and fingers. Feel relaxation flow down your legs, relaxing your knees and ankles too. Relax your feet and all the tiny muscles in them. Relax your toes. Now, from this state of total relaxation, imagine your torso as the trunk of a tree. It's sturdy and powerful. See the roots of your trunk going down into the floor beneath you, flowing deeper and deeper into the earth with each breath. Feel the strength of the earth beneath you and the strength of your roots moving through the earth to anchor you. As you continue to breathe, your roots get closer and closer to the core of the earth. Imagine the earth's core as a pink, molten core of pulsing, loving energy. And with your next breath, your roots reach the center. Feel the loving energy of the earth flow quickly up your roots, moving into your body starting at your feet, up your legs, to the base of your spine, up to your belly button, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, into the center of your head, and through the top of your head. You are now filled with this pink, loving energy of the earth. And now you can see your branches growing. From your shoulders and head, you see hundreds of branches growing and putting out leaves and fragrant flowers. You look around and see a forest of trees growing around you, doing the same. You are connected to them. You can sense the immense power of the forest you're a part of. Your roots are intertwining and supporting one another. And you are part of a fertile ecosystem for a host of creatures to grow and thrive in. With each breath, the center of the earth is supporting your growth. Breathing in, pulling that pink, loving energy up from the earth. You have all the nutrients you need. And with each breath, your branches get stronger and your leaves more lush. Just as the entire forest is alive, so are you. From above, you feel the sun's warmth shining down on you. You can see the stars and moon sending down cosmic wisdom. Day by day, breath by breath, your forest grows. And you start to see the first small fruits taking shape. As the entire forest grows, each branch, with its many flowers, turns to ripening fruit. With the fruit growing bigger, juicier, and sweeter, feel your body opening up and blossoming. Your branches are heavy with fruit. You look around and there are thousands, even hundreds of thousands of fruits in your forest. You are abundant with value to give. Feel the abundance of your situation. Feel how much you have. Feel how much you can give and share. Feel the gratitude in your body for how much you have. What does it feel like in your body? What sensations are alive in the presence of so much abundance? What harvest do you have to share with the world? What whispers of wisdom does the forest that you're a part of have for you? Stay in this state as long as you like, going deeper and deeper into appreciation, gratitude, and basking in the feeling of the abundance of nature, your true nature, in your body. And when you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Shake your petals, if you will, and start to feel that movement from the branches back into the body, from the trunk back into the core, taking nice deep breaths in and out, coming back into this present space, this time and this place, bringing that abundance of nature with you, feeling it rooted deep within your belly and your heart. When you're ready, you can open your eyes if they were closed. Thank you for meditating with me today upon the abundance of nature. My hope for you is that you feel that you are without limit, that you know that the seeds that you are nourishing and focusing on and rooting into the earth will have the rain, will have the nourishment, and will be made an abundant harvest. I encourage you to come back to this meditation anytime that you need. For myself, when I find that a meditation speaks to me, I actually return to it for at least 40 days in a row, and I find that each time a different seed takes root in my heart. My most successful meditation practices have been those that I have come back to for 40 days and allowed that seed to truly take root and to grow and to blossom. It's also brought a grounded sense of calm to my practice when I return to the same one. So I encourage you to do that if this practice spoke to you. I thank you for listening, and I ask, if you would, that you share this with a friend if you think that they would benefit from hearing my message today. I look forward to chatting with you again soon. You can always follow me on social media. You can also email me at hello@jamiehaynes.com. Just make sure you spell the name correctly. And I would be so happy to hear any questions that you might have or topics that you would like me to cover. But until next time, may you love in full color. May you live out loud. And may you always come home to yourself. Have a blessed day.